Yo, Good Peepz, what's up? What's up? Sugar Will here.
Double A over here.
Welcome back. Thursday night, 7:40. You know
Give or take a minute or two.
Yeah, we 7:40. We need y'all to definitely like, share, subscribe, comment. Appreciate y'all in it. This is gonna be a great show, Double A. You know what I mean?
Man.
I'm really looking forward to this show, you know what I mean? A lot of things has went down since our last show, you know what I mean? Yeah, a lot
To
of
say
things.
the least.
Yeah, we had a real good show last week. I mean, we ain't have enough time, you know what I mean? We could have been probably still talking about it, you know what I mean? But good mob, appreciate y'all tuning in.
Yes.
Definitely made the show fire last weekend as usual.
What up, Kai?
Double A, what's good, brother?
Man, it's a week later.
Yeah.
Like you said, a lot has happened. Had to process a lot, take account of where we are right now as a people going to this new phase.
Yeah.
that we in.
He said a new phase.
New phase. I can't even call it anything else. It's just a new phase right now, man. I held my tongue on a lot of things last week.
You was pretty mute last week, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
I don't know what was going on, bro.
Listen, I had to be empathetic to, our brown women, our black women. I had to be empathetic to, last week wasn't the time for me to just speak truth. Say what it is. I had
like
to,
you said,
exercise some sensitivity.
It hit the women
Get
real.
on my Ralph Tresvant.
Yeah, it hit the women real hard. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna hold you. You know what I'm saying? So you definitely, you know me. You know. I tell you how I feel it. You know what I mean? Like I said, I was all in, but I didn't think so.
You ain't just a tip.
Yeah, I was rooting for it, but I didn't think it was gonna happen. But hey, it is what it is, though. But it was, like I said, last week was rough, for a lot of people. It is, like I said, to me, I'm 47, going on 48. Like I said, ain't no president ever changed how I move.
Yeah.
I mean, I get up every day the same way. I don't give a damn if it was Clinton, you know what I mean? Bush, Obama, all them. I was getting up the same way, going to work, you know what I mean? Jokers ain't changed nothing. I had to go, you know what I mean? So I just keep moving. I can't. I'm a type of joke. If I can't control the narrative, I don't get too crazy about it. Like I said, we can vote. I get it. We can vote, but if you don't really control all of that. You know what I mean? You know what I mean? So I don't get into all that. If I can't control the matter, I don't let it bother me too tough. You know what I mean? But
True. So when we talk about everybody's mental state. At this current moment, given the election we just had, let's take a deep dive, right? We saw what it looked like for us, so just had the thought, the next generation, our kids, their kids, and how we came up, our crowd, we're that young Gen X, elder millennial like myself, and millennials, right? We come from that suck it up. Ain't no crying in baseball.
Hell nah.
That's where we come from, right?
Yeah, hell yes.
And as a result, we really didn't share with our parents. We ain't talk to nobody. We just had to swallow it down and just, for lack of better words, just eat it.
And I was the only boy, bro. I was 5 sisters boy. I was the basement. I was the basement boy. I'm down there figuring this shit out by myself. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know what I mean?
So when our kids come to us, we give them what we got. Hey, man, suck it up. I mean, we're coming from the perspective of this is going to toughen you up. It's a tough world out here, but we're learning that's not the way to do it.
Nah.
Right? We learned a bad behavior. Now we got to figure out how can we unlearn that? How can we open our ears to what these kids are really saying now? Because when you talk to these kids now, they have no emotion on their face. They put it all on their phone.
Yeah.
Like you see the comments, it's like, LOL, oh my gosh, I am dead. But you look at them type, it's like, there's no emotion. The emotion's all in their hands.
All in their hand. That's crazy how you, that's crazy you seen it like that. Only Only Double A can see that. Only Double A. You don't even get that on Good Peepz. This dude sees crazy stuff. But go ahead.
I'm perceptive, right?
Nah, that's a compliment. Go ahead.
I appreciate it. Because next week you ain't getting none. We'll talk about that later. But, but when you think about how they communicate now, this social media, this avatar state that they're in,
Yeah.
that world is more real than the real world.
No.
You got a lot of kids self-transitioning due to cyberbullying. Our perspective is that, hey, put your phone down.
Yeah.
But this is too real for them. You take a kid's phone, they will try to kill you.
No. Now it's crazy you said that. No, true story. You know, I got 4 kids, bro. I got a 13-year-old girl.
Mm-hmm.
Have a conversation, you know, going back, you know, if you don't do this, you know, I'm taking the phone. That conversation. You know what I mean? No lie. You know what our first one? Well, Dad, I think soon as she heard about the phone, I think I might have mental health issues. I'm like, what is going? Yeah, why would you say that? You know what I mean? Over the phone, bro. I'm telling you, the phone, dog. I said, this phone got our kids. What'd you think about that? Would you say that to your parents? They about to take your phone. Yeah, but Dad, I got mental. Nigga, you better get
You know what I would have got? Well, I got a belt that'll help fix it. That's what I would have got. Oh, you got mental health issues?
Yeah,
I got something to straighten that right out for you.
You got mental health issues, but that's like just what you was saying, man. That's true, and y'all, Good Peepz, bro. Will I tell you the truth?
Yeah.
This just happened. You know what I mean? And she was like, Dad, but I think I'm having mental health issues now. I'm like, when did this come up? Like, just when I said this phone was about to be snatched.
Right.
You know what I mean? And I'm like, but you can't really overlook. You know what I mean? Now it's like,
It's tough. So what we're going to do that's special tonight, we're not just going to sit here and have this conversation. We brought up some professionals in here to help us navigate this topic so we don't mode this conversation down. We ain't trying to mansplain nothing tonight.
Said,
Nope. We're going to have a well-rounded conversation. So I'm going to introduce our special guest for tonight. So first, I got my homie. She's fantastic. Her name is Karma Ye. She is a multifaceted creative and community advocate, right? Her whole approach to mental health from a creative standpoint is something to admire. She really speaks affirmations, not only through words, but through songs. She has such a compelling story of her own journey that she shares, and I think that's the best part. She went through some things and came out on the other side, and she tells the story of hope through her experience. So she has her own testimony, and it's a beautiful thing. So I have her on the show. So Karma, thank you for coming on.
Without.
I'm grateful to be on the platform.
Thank you for being on here.
She's a fabulous artist too. We got some music together, so y'all gonna be able to hear that too. You know what I mean?
Hey y'all.
So listen, we have a certified professional. Now this is my friend, my homie. Grew up together. I'm so excited to just introduce her. We got Natasha Bryant. Now, she is a licensed clinical social worker, but mental health and mindset expert, right? So we have some expertise on the show. We're going to have a deep dive into this mental health conversation.
What up, Natasha?
Yes, let's get it in.
Told you we got that real. We got this.
Yeah. We're going to have a real conversation. This is important. This is important. We got to think about the children are the future, right?
Mm-hmm.
How are we leaving them this space better than what we found it, right? It means we can't pass down bad learned behavior. Not saying that everything that we learned is bad, but we got to learn how to re-deliver the message the right way where they can receive it where they're at. So, ladies, thank you for joining this conversation with us.
Thank you for having us.
Appreciate you. So, Tasha.
Mm-hmm.
I call her Tasha because we go back.
We listen.
Yeah.
Tasha, that's the only way.
That's a fact.
That's the only way.
So you deal with kids, I know that was the age of like 14 and up, right?
Mm-hmm.
So tell me from your perspective, what are you seeing out there when it comes to mental health and awareness, and how can we pick up on the cues to see the red flags and not just dismissing them as, oh, they soft, right?
Yeah.
How can we change our behavior to pick up the traits from your perspective?
Well, one thing I would say is the Gen Zs, they are serious about their mental health. Like, they will advocate, I need to see a therapist, or mom, dad, I want to talk to somebody, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, they are, which we didn't have that. It was like, mental health wasn't even talked about, let alone even have a discussion.
Right.
And so that's one thing I appreciate about the younger generation, is that they're really in tune with their mental health, and they are unapologetic about needing help or wanting help. And even not even if they're like necessarily in crises, but just like, I want to talk to somebody, right? Or I'm stressed and I realize I need someone to help me to work through this, right? So being very having a level of advocacy with that is really big. It's something that I really enjoy when like working with teens and young adults, college age, for sure. I think even what you were saying about your daughter saying like, I feel like this is part of my mental health. I think because there's more of a conversation about it, there is more awareness, and also because of that awareness, some are diagnosing themselves and not don't necessarily have depression or anxiety, right? But they do recognize a sign. They're able to recognize signs. Like before, if someone just seemed down, silent or isolate, we were just like, oh, that's just they just quiet, right? Or they fine, or we just or make fun of them. Why are you so quiet?
Right.
Why aren't you talking? And I think now people are recognizing like, oh, something might be actually going on with such and such. Like they might be quiet because they're going through something. Or I think also some signs we would just say, oh, they're just being teenagers, like isolating themselves in the room. Now, yes, there are some teenagers who that is normal for teens to like not want to hang out with their parents, not want to hang out with their siblings, and want it because they're learning, they're getting part of that like independence and trying to figure out who they are, and part of figuring out who they are is going against the norm of like their family because like I want to have my own identity. But if you're recognizing that your son or daughter is in their bedroom to the point where they barely come downstairs, they barely communicate, they have no interest in doing anything other than staying up in their room.
I think we got some problems.
Right, yeah, but that might be a time to like check in. Yeah, that might be a time to check in and say what's going on. Because
I'm about to send a text message right now.
Because I ain't gonna hold you. My daughter, even in my son too. The 7, he's 18 now, but that's what they do now. You know what I mean? And I just wanted to ask you, I know on that topic with COVID happening, like COVID,
that was crazy.
You know what I mean? COVID changed my kids a whole lot. You know what I'm saying?
COVID changed me a whole lot.
It changed us all.
It just changed everything. Like with my 18-year-old son, he was like that first class to even go through that when COVID started. And I was about to kill this joker every day. You know what I mean? Just trying to be the nice parent, but it just wasn't like, I'm I'm going to kill this dude. You know what I mean? But
come get him.
Yeah, you can see like the COVID time really had a big effect on our kids. Could you talk about like that period of time as far as the kids, you know what I mean? Because it still you can still feel the effect of the COVID period.
Yeah, I think the first part that's coming to mind is isolation. We were isolated. Like, all we had was the people that we live in the house. And if you didn't get along with people in your house, that was even if you were in a relationship. Like, there's a lot of divorces that happened in COVID because
some
people were hanging out with partners.
Some relationships ended.
There were no more distractions.
Right. Yeah,
they were forced to sit with themselves.
So there's a lot of isolations. There was and isolations from friends. For many youth and teens, like their friends is their escape. Their friends is, their way of feeling connected. Sports, whatever the activities they were in, was their way of feeling connected, and their way of getting out. Remember, I told you, like I said before, as a teen, wanting to differentiate yourself from your family and like creating your own identity. And now you have to like be around the people that you're trying to like separate yourself from, just developmental wise. So yeah, the isolation is what really got a lot of the teens, because one is, again, losing the things that they used to do that gave them the sense of like joy or happiness. If it was playing a sport, if it was like excelling in academics or seeing friends, right? And then it was also losing how to socialize. You get so used to not socializing, or just socialize with people that's in your house, and even adults experience this too. That when it got time to actually go out in the world, there was a lot of anxiety about what do I say, how do I make a friend, how do I keep a friend.
You're too close,
right? Yeah, like it was a lot of that going on too. Yeah.
There you go. That's why we got on here. Yo, need you to like, share, subscribe, comment, Good Peepz. Yo,
what up, Good Mob? What up, Good Mob?
What up, Good Mob? Listen.
So when we say Good Mob, we talking to the people that are live in the chat.
Yeah,
they're the Good Mob.
That's the crew.
So
Good Mob.
What's up, Good Mob?
What up, Good Mob?
Yeah, they stay locked in. But yeah, great answer. Cause like I said, I know that COVID. Oh man, I couldn't even. I found myself really having, as old school parents, I was like, yo, I gotta change. You know what I mean? And I was like, me. You know what I mean? I was like always stubborn about it, but like after a while, I was like, I gotta change. Like they ain't. You know what I mean? I was like, they not changing.
Yeah, 10 toes down don't work for everything. I learned that the hard way. Like, maybe I was wrong.
I did. I learned it the hard way. Like, I say, just you gotta look yourself in the mirror sometimes. It ain't always them, you know what I mean? It might be you too. And I was like, I gotta change. And, I'm still working on it. But the good thing is I notice it now. You know what I mean? I'm conscious of it. You know what I'm saying?
And that's big, because one of the things that I often, a barrier that I run into with families when they bring their child to therapy is they just want to drop them off and then like fix my child.
Oh,
right?
yeah.
And feel like therapy is going to fix the issue. And then when I'm like talking with the child, a lot of times the parents are the trigger, or the environment at home is the trigger.
I'm sure I'm going to be in them sessions.
and so
there's a couch for you right there. Just lay back.
My dad used to.
Yeah, and so it
all started in basketball practice.
But listen, and then when I see the adult male, for example, like adult male client, we talking about daddy issues or parent issues because of the hard parenting. So it's like I end up seeing it, like in different lifespans of how the parenting, really impacts. But it's hard for parents to accept, because no parent wants to feel like they were a bad, quote unquote, bad parent, right? Or that they didn't do the right thing, or they weren't enough as a parent. So as our issues with adults in general is like our pride of like, well, I'm the adult, I'm the one that's always right. Like we have to be the one that's always right. We don't have to be right. I think it also, you as a parent, you probably feel less stress if you would not try to be right all the time.
Yeah.
And just be like, oh, you know what, I messed up. Yeah. I was wrong on that.
I didn't because as a kid you look at your parents as parents. I didn't start looking at my mom as a human, a regular person, until I was a grown man.
Right.
Like when she started saying, my pop dad was stepfather, she started seeing him, I was like, at first it was like, you ain't supposed to be doing this. I was like, nah, she's a woman, bro, and she's a woman who has needs. She doesn't want to be alone.
Yes.
And when I say that was a hard thing to accept, man, I was like, I got to mature here. I can't be acting like this. It makes me think how our kids will look at us. They don't see us as people. They don't see us as a man or woman. They just see us as mom and dad. And nah, mom and dad, you can't do that. You're just in this specific category. They don't talk to us because we can't relate to them because we built that same barrier that we had with our parents, right? So it's like, man, you said some key things. So how can we work towards breaking down that barrier, being more open to have those conversations that we might not want to have. It's like, let's talk.
Conversation I had a couple months ago. You like both? What?
Oh boy.
I think.
It's like, okay,
okay.
all right,
Okay.
let's work through it. Just
Make
let's
space.
talk about it.
Space.
Woo, he's being a parent.
But that's the key, though, right? Like the key is like you don't. I think a lot of times there's this this own expectation you put on yourself that my child is coming to me with a situation that I have to have the answer, I have to fix it, and a lot of times they don't want any advice. They don't want you to fix it. They just want you to listen.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna give you something from our good mom. Sheena just said, I think we as parents have a hard time accepting that maybe we are the problem. Bars.
Yeah.
5,000 gold coins. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. That's me. I got a lot of pride in myself, but like I said, after a while, like yo, this might be me too. You know what I mean?
We really in this together.
Yeah. Like whoa, gotta work on yourself.
Before my son went down to Florida, he's a civil engineer. Nice job down there. After he graduated from college, just sat and just talked to him like, yeah, a lot of things I wish I could go back and do over again. Like this thing, I wish I handled that better.
Yeah.
Just let him know, like, nah, Dad, I wish I did better. But he's like, nah, Dad.
Oh, you hit him with that one? Yeah, how it go?
Nah, he was like, but the funny part was he turned around.
I might need to do it. I just want to ask you how it work out for you. You know
So
what I mean?
he turned around and said, nah, I am where I am because you are who you are.
That's
as
Love
a dad.
that.
I was like,
Yeah,
Good job, Dad.
Even though you need an affirmation from your son, right?
oh, listen,
Seeing the
there's nothing better than that from your kids to say, nah, Dad, you was all right. Especially when you know, like, man, I wish I would have did that better.
Yeah.
If I could do that over again, I wouldn't have reacted that way. I would have did X, Y, and Z. But you know.
But even think about that, right? Like hearing your son say that you were enough, right?
Yeah.
And how much that helped you. Just imagine how your child feels if they hear that from you. Right? I think as adults, we forget that we were kids and that we needed all these things that we're not given to our child because we're now adults and we're expecting our child. We're coming from this adult mindset and forgetting like where was when I was 14, when I was 18, when I was 17. What did I need from my parent?
Yeah.
And how can I be that for my child?
Wow. Because growing up in my household, we understood we loved each other, but we didn't say it. It was more action. We was family. We action. You know, you can say whatever. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
You gotta show me. You know what I mean? That's how we was. Even my mom, man. Yo, she was like, a throwback lady. And a lot of times we didn't get all that. Even I was with 5 sisters. They wasn't even like that. All that, love. I love you and. Have a great day and hope you get. No, we didn't talk like that. You know what I'm saying? Which is, it works for some people, it don't work for some people. But
so that's the opposite.
Yeah,
that's what we got. We got the.
But my mom showed us. She was at everything we did. You know what I mean? Every time you asked her for something, you got it. Or my pops. You know what I mean? Like so. That's how I look. Like shit. You got me everything. I'm in my sports. You know what I mean? I'm like. Right. And they show up to everything. I just wanted my parents when I played to see to show up. You know what I mean? That
was the love
all
language.
Right. And my mom and pops, I'm good.
Yeah,
you know what I mean? That was cool. You know what I mean? But we didn't really say. I know a lot of households is different, but we ain't really go up with the really saying each other. We love each other. We do it more now. You know what I mean? Because we do. But growing up, my house wasn't like that. You know what I mean? And I used to be like that with my kids, and I realized. Actually, when I started having daughters, because my son caught it. My first son was just like, I was major pain with his ass.
I bet he ain't happy right now.
Look at you.
I was major pain with that nigga. Then I had my daughter, so it's like, I can't, girls is a little different, I had to chill out, so. That's when I kind of started learning. You gotta change.
But that's the trick, right? When you have a child that's the polar opposite of you, right? And you realize like, oh, I'm expecting them to be tough like me or be okay with just me showing up. But they need me to actually say the thing.
Yeah, you're right.
It's like really like that's a lot of times
it.
that's the challenge of when you have a child that's the polar opposite and they need something that you didn't have or is not your style, and you have to learn how to love them or communicate with them. Yeah.
So speaking of affirmations, Karma, I need you to drop some wisdom on us, man. Talk to us, because that's you start talking affirmations. That's your bag right there.
Yeah.
So talk to me.
Y'all already covered so many important elements in this conversation. Communication is important. Showing up as a love language. There's power in that, but there's also room for confusion when it's not being expressed verbally, I feel.
Preach.
When we are, for instance, AA, when you say you go back, you speak to your son, and he's telling you that you're enough, we want to give that back to the children as well. When it comes to my children, I try to create space to let them be curious and express themselves. And I don't take things too personally. Let me know if did I hop in on that topic?
No, you good.
There's so many things that y'all talked about down to okay.
Good mob going in too. Everybody's in on this conversation.
Look. So with the communication, I feel like it's important to foster your child's curiosity. That's very important. Like you said, and we come into this and we're like, because I said so. Being a child in the system, I was introduced to mental health conversations very, very early. I was every single day in group therapy, having to stick out my two fingers to give my opinion or to express. And if we didn't express, we weren't able to participate in the festivities for the day, whether that was rec or whatever. So I've been kind of programmed. But like you said, when you give birth to somebody who's the polar opposite. So my first child was a boy, 13. I was major pain. With my daughter, she's 5, about to be 6. You see, I always intellectualized my emotions because I was institutionalized. So I could talk about my feelings all day and say what it is and be aware and be accountable. But because my daughter is so sensitive, which I think is a superpower, honestly, because she could feel, and she could be brave and express herself, she forced me to have to get out of that intellectualized and have to feel it. And that was kind of uncomfortable at first. And I got my parents who were like, she's a crybaby. She's spoiled. She's that. And it's like, no, she's not. She's aware. And she's trying to find the way to communicate that to me so I can help her, and meet her needs and stuff like that.
That's what's up.
Yeah, this might be my favorite show already, bro.
Yeah, that's hot. Right
Let's go.
Yes,
it's
go.
one of the things is every behavior is telling you something, right? And so a lot of times, like you're saying, even the intellectualize, we might intellectualize, or we might just overlook because it's something that makes us feel uncomfortable, like our child crying, right? Or our child not wanting to be involved with the family. Like, why don't you want to be with us? You should want to be with your family. Like, if it's something, or they're doing something that just feels uncomfortable because it's something that's uncomfortable for us, right? It can then cause us to then dismiss. And that's one of the things that really triggers a lot of mental health for youth. Well, anybody, but with youth, when it comes to depression and anxiety, is when there is that emotional dismissiveness, and it's a form of emotional abandonment, right? Because I'm showing you, my behavior is showing you that I need something. Like you said, your daughter, when she's becoming sensitive, she's showing you that I need something in this moment, right? And when you dismiss it, shut up, you're just being a crybaby. Or you don't need, you all right, just get up. Or why are you screaming? Why are you being all loud? You disrespect, you talking back? You talk. I asked you a question. All of that.
That's
and
abusive.
You totally dismiss.
It is abusive.
You miss everything that your child is trying to tell you. Yeah. And then they feel emotionally abandoned because I'm calling out. I'm showing you that I need some support. I'm being vulnerable with you in this moment. You totally just dismissed me. And now I'm like, oh, never again then.
Right.
Because now I'm emotionally threatened by you. Because I'm coming to you as my parent thinking you're going to support and be there. Right. And instead you abandon me. And so now my guard is up when it comes to you.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think I got to call my first son after the show.
Call him. Listen. Have these conversations. They matter. They matter.
Baby, please.
Listen, when I said...
You got me, niggas, you know how you feel like people just talking to you?
You talking to you?
You're talking about when did you go to therapy? What's going hold on here.
Oh man.
I had to pass the Fletcher moment. Just looking
Oh
at
man,
you
yeah, I
right
feel
there.
all of that, man. Y'all hitting it. Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
telling you, I was like that, and I like I said, I'm glad I'm
About to send a
conscious
text
of it
message right now.
You know what I'm saying? Like, cause I was like I said, oh, you know, I was major pain with my first son.
And
like,
hey, it's good.
yeah,
Right.
I ain't played no games like at all. You know what I'm saying? But like girls, like I said, when I got my girl, it was like you know what I mean? Because she wasn't having none of that type
Had
of
to
talk.
soften
You know what I
up.
mean? She was breaking down, and that's the last thing a dad wants is the daughter break.
Oh,
you know what I
yeah.
mean? You know
Shift
what?
your whole
Because
mindset.
when they mad for a while. You know what I mean? It's like they like scared of you mad. You know what I mean? I'm like, whoa. So I never liked that feeling. So I'm like, oh yeah, you got to make some adjustments. But I'm still working on myself. You know what I mean? We did, like I said, we so old school and tradition, like you said, suck it up. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
From that generation. So it's just good to have y'all on here to get y'all perspective on it, especially, because this is what y'all do. You know what I mean? I seen you, like I said, I read up on you, and then I watched a couple of your IGs, and I'm like, yeah, you got the, I know she was going to break it down, but you got the energy, and like I said, I didn't even know your background with your kids and stuff like that, so that
Yeah.
even makes it even better, you know what I
Yeah.
mean? Where you can relate, and
Yes.
yeah, it's a good pick, Double A. You know?
Can I add to the conversation?
Yeah.
I do want to say, because I did come up with the parenting. I was always on punishment. You know, I feel as though when kids come into
We're
the
here.
world, you know what I'm saying,
Punishment.
and that's where my behavior problems came from, honestly, because it's like, and I talk about this on Instagram. It's like the things that they would call disruptive are actually my gifts. You know, I was talkative. I have podcasts, and I'm a communicator now. You know, public
Yeah.
speaking. I was always singing and dancing, making beats on desk. But it's like, parents aren't worried about that. They're worried about, damn, I gotta miss work and I'm not gonna get this money. I gotta pay this bill and da-da-da-da. They're not thinking like that. Instead of like, okay, you wanna sing? Let's go put your ass in choir.
Yeah.
Okay, you wanna move and dance in the hallways? Let's take you to jazz class after school. And they're not helping the children channel that energy so that it is beneficial for them and working towards their purpose. You know, we project our own. Sometimes parents are trying to live through their children and making them trophies, got them in football, and they want to go do coding.
Yeah.
You feel me? So we got to check our own egos as parents. And when we talk about the daughters and their sensitivity, sometimes it's all in the tone and our demeanor. When my daughter gets like that, sometimes I'm not perfect, you know, because I do a lot, I manage a lot. So sometimes I'm short-tempered, but I let her know, baby, it's not your fault. Mommy had a long day. I had to do this. I had to do that. So right now, I don't really have the space or the capacity to listen to the whiny voice. Can we bring it down and talk like a big girl? You know, like when you ask for cookies. And then I'll get down on her level and I'm looking her in her eye. And then she's, okay, mommy. And she'll try.
Yeah.
You know, it's just seeing them and letting them know it's not your fault. Because a lot of times we just walking around with our own stuff that we carry through our day. And it just comes out because it's home. And it's like, oh, at home I can take off my mask now. When my kids, they're an extension of us. So we don't really think about how they see us.
Yeah.
But they're our biggest mirrors. Because they literally walk around like little us. And it's like, where you get that from? Oh, shit, I need to check myself.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah, you're right.
yeah.
I think too is like there's this expectation to when we're in public spaces, right? To, you know, express our emotions, and like the parent is expecting their child to express their emotions in healthy ways. But if they're never taught how to express their emotions, and then you're getting mad because they're like yelling, or they want to fight real quick, or they shut down, and it's like, well, have you taught? Has there been communication where you taught? So what you just described is co-regulation, right?
Yes.
So what she just did was she saw her daughter upset. If she got upset, so behavior influences behavior. So her daughter's upset. If she gets upset, then everybody gonna be upset. It's gonna escalate.
Yes.
But what she did was she regulated her daughter's emotions by calming herself down. So her daughter is naturally gonna feel her energy going down. She's gonna calm herself down, and then her tone she's modeling by her tone is more calm. She even gets down eye to eye, right? All of that is calming her down to show that it's safe, it's okay. Like you can, you know, you can bring your energy down, and that's what helps with co-regulation. Another way to think about it is like with babies. You have a baby, you put them and they're crying, you put them against your heart, and you might rub their back. That's co-regulation, just rubbing the back.
Right.
You might pat them on the back. That's co-regulation. You might swing them. That's all co-regulation. And you recognize, like, I have to be calm because if I get upset, then the baby's gonna get upset, right?
Yeah.
And so when you're thinking about helping your child learn how to express emotions, it's thinking about, well, how am I expressing emotions? Like when I'm on the phone, even things as simple as when you're on the phone.
They
Your parents can
listening.
hear you on the phone. If you cussing somebody out on the phone, the bill collector calling or something. If you're, how are you showing how to deal with
traffic,
frustrating
yep.
situations, or how are you showing how to deal with sorrow or sadness?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got a lot of text messages and
yeah,
Hold them accountable.
Yeah, man. Like, yeah, I knew this was gonna be a good show. You know what I mean? I appreciate y'all. I need y'all to like, share, subscribe, comment on Good Peepz. Yo, we got Natasha, Karma. Yo, y'all. Whoa,
I got to take time to shout out the Good Mom. They in here getting up.
What's up, good mom?
What they
Reef.
saying in the chat? What they
Yeah.
saying in the
Red
chat?
Dots,
What are they
what up?
saying?
Say it in the
DJ
chat.
Dot, what up?
Yeah, they
They in there
there.
talking
They
too.
talking,
Jody,
yeah.
what up?
Cause these parents, man, you talk that kids, yeah,
BJ.
they want to know. We want to know, like even signs. Like sometimes, like this one kid on my son's team, he committed suicide, and he would have been the last kid. I honestly would have picked in the school to even do it. You know what I mean? I'm like when he came home and my son told me this, I'm like, hold up, I can't be talking about the same kid. You know what I mean? And it made my stomach hurt so bad to know that kid did it, and now I'm thinking, you thinking of your own kids. I'm
Right.
like,
I
you
thought he
Pressure.
was more mentally tough than mine. So
Yeah,
if he
you
did
right.
it, then
this
anybody
kid is
can
the
do it.
captain of
Yeah.
this, the president of this, and you know what I mean? And I'm like,
Well, that part.
yeah, that's probably,
That
I
might
don't,
have been a lot of pressure.
The pressure.
yeah, maybe.
The pressure to be on top, and because he's on top, he can't show that he's struggling. I don't know what his home life was like, if his
Yeah.
parents were like, pressuring him to do a lot as well. But sometimes you don't know, because
Yeah.
people are suffering in silence, and they're doing a really good job masking it,
Yeah.
because they don't want to be seen as someone who is struggling.
That's what I was
Right?
gonna ask
And
you.
so,
Signs. Like
yeah.
I was like, is it signs? But you just really said it. It really can't, because they can mask it. You know
yeah,
what I
there
mean?
is signs, but there are ones that sometimes. So I would say, when it comes to, like, if someone decides to harm themselves, whether it's self-harm or through suicide, I think nobody has to necessarily take a blame for it.
Yeah.
I think that's what I'm saying. Like, did I miss something? Should I have known? Like, nobody necessarily has to take responsibility for it, but there are signs. So if you're noticing that someone is, they usually are really high energy, and then all of a sudden their energy just dropped. They're not invested in anything anymore. They lost their interest. They used to want to go out with their friends all the time, or want to play sports or be active in school, and then all of a sudden now they're just like, I'll just stay home. I don't want to. Friends call. You're like, aren't you gonna go out with your friends? Like, nah, I'm just gonna stay home, right? So they start to lose interest. Or the opposite, you might see where they were really, really, really quiet, and then all of a sudden they had like this burst in energy, like they're constantly going out, they're constantly doing things, and that could be more like on a mannequin, where they're like doing a lot of things. Another one is if they're sleeping a lot. So if you notice that it's been, how many hours have they been in the bed? It's like, like they're sleeping way more than they used to, or they're not sleeping at all, is another one. Loss in appetite. So they have no appetite, or they're eating more, is another sign. If there's a lot of worry, you just notice there's a lot of like worrying thoughts, anxiety about different things. That could be a sign as well. If they're saying, if sometimes they're just vocal, and they're saying like, I'm sad, like I don't feel good, or I don't want to go places, or I don't, they're actually verbalizing that they're not feeling, they're like their mood is low. That can be some other signs as well. Yeah.
That's a lot of signs.
Yeah.
Yo,
So
That's why communication, like she said, communication is key, because if you open the door for communication, then your child won't be nervous to speak with you. Now, sometimes, and you may experience this in your own experience as a child, as some children take on the responsibility to protect their parents, right? Like my mom, single mom, she already got a lot going on. I don't want to stress her
bring
out.
us to her doorstep.
So
I
don't
see
wanna
that with
say
my son.
nothing.
I see that with my son
Yeah,
for sure.
yeah.
After separating, especially now being a single mother, now we in the city of Camden, walk-in buses. I go to work. I have multiple jobs. So sometimes, he has to be with his sister for a little bit. And I have to check that because it's like, you're not the parent. And then it's like, he's kind of looking out for me and looking out for his sis. And it's like, son, what do you want to do? You know, it's not your role. I'm grateful that you helped me, but it is not your job.
Mom, I'm the man of the house, Mom.
Yeah, but I try to make it clear, like, you got time for that. Let's focus on what you want to do. Is that encouragement of be a kid, go play. What you curious about? And I understand he's more mature, and I also applaud the maturity. But I let him know, don't rush. You know, don't rush. I got you. So that's important too, because the kids will assume the position of like a protector.
Yep.
Because they see everything. Yeah.
I like that the communication thing because I definitely with my kids definitely I needed to work on my communication outside of stuff that we relate to. You know what I mean? The outside of stuff that we relate to. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, I like that. Yeah, because I don't know. The thing with me is, do you see the difference in dads? Because most dads are the disciplinary. You know what I mean? If you in a family, dad, dad is I'm gonna tell dad if it's stuff going down. So naturally, the kids won't want to talk to dad about stuff like they would mom or something. So I get that with my kids. Like they'll tell their moms, but they won't tell. They necessarily wouldn't tell me that. You know what I mean? So right now, I wish they would, but I take at least they telling somebody that's gonna tell me. You know what I mean? So at least I ain't in the dark. But they don't really tell me. It's like, I don't know if I should tell.
Why do you think they don't tell you? Like,
I
what
think,
are your reactions
I said
be?
it's communication. Like I said it. My communication
come from that tough it up perspective, and especially you got kids that play sports. Like you're trying to drill in them, the dedication and the mental fortitude you have to have, but by constantly doing that, you're not making space for communication, because we would look at that as soft, because that's what we was taught. That's soft. Your feelings, man. If you don't, many times we heard that's and so I ain't gonna put that blame. I ain't gonna put that blame on parents. That comes from everybody that you're around. When we were kids, it was like, who's the toughest one? Oh, he's soft. He's like, you were quick to get called soft if you didn't have that mental toughness. So you would swallow a lot. You would swallow a lot, and that came not only from parents but peer pressure.
Economy
as well, too.
is the economy. Y'all were like the breadwinners. Women stayed at home. They couldn't work. The men had to be the warriors, the hunters, the going way back. So y'all have just been like inflated with this responsibility, and it's like it's necessary because y'all are that.
I like that word, inflated. But we'll roll with it.
No, but it's like y'all are being pumped up. Like this is, but not all along. It's like y'all are also human with a whole hormonal system that puts you in a parasympathetic or a sympathetic. And when you have those type of, you're gonna be human too. But instead of being able to show those heavier emotions or softer emotions, however you want to call it, y'all have to suppress it and be the man. So that's where it's like that toxic masculinity comes in. But that's where all these conversations, like there's this awareness with Trump winning, with, it's time now for us to be able to be in a balanced place where it's like, it's okay to come to dad. Dad does know how to receive that. Dad can be soft and slow to react, and you don't got to be afraid, because it's a fear thing, because we've used dominance to discipline instead of creating space to be like, okay, we accept. Now, how we gonna move forward? What are our options? That's what it is.
I was gonna say that's really the only difference between how mom and dad is doing it. Mom is being open to the conversation. Mom is being open to what you're saying. Mom is not quick to respond. Not all moms, because there's a lot of moms who are dominate the house, and the dad does it, and they go to the dad. There are some that are like that, but whoever the parent is, if they're not coming to you, whether you're a single parent or a 2-parent household, more than likely it's because you're not creating a safe space for a conversation. It's more of like, and what you were saying too about taking things personal, a lot of times we'll take it personal of, again, because your own ego of like, did I do something wrong? Am I the bad parent? So really it's like fear for yourself is coming out.
Yeah.
And then, but instead of expressing that fear, because I can't express fear, I'm the parent, I gotta have it all together,
right? You
end up expressing dominance. You end up expressing the anger. And so if you, don't take what they're doing personally and make it this is a reflection on me, I must be doing something wrong, or they got me looking crazy out here because of how they're acting. more so just be open to the conversation, right? Be open to a discussion about it. Asking more like why, what questions. Asking more like open-ended questions. Because if you say like, how was your day? Fine. You're like, all right? But ask more a question that allows for you to explore.
Yes.
Well, what about your day was fine? Who did you talk to today? What did y'all talk about?
Curiosity,
Like the who, the what, the why in those questions. Just start to open the conversation. Before you know, your kid will open up.
Yes,
they will open
up.
up.
Oh my God,
they will open up.
Right,
they see like, oh.
So hold on, real quick.
For a session.
Give me 60 seconds to do this real fast because we skipped this part.
Okay.
We have something called rules and regulations of this show, right?
Oh crap, we didn't.
So,
we don't know the rules.
Number one, so we're just gonna run through real quick. Number one, good peeps, don't argue.
Yeah, we don't.
Rule number two,
gotta be able to take a joke.
rule number three is something we call chill out mom because our moms watch the show.
Yeah,
Sometimes we might go left. So rule number three, chill out mom, respectfully, hopefully. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Rule number four is respect. We respect everybody, their opinions, their walk of life. We just leave with respect. Rule number five is, like, share, subscribe, do all that things.
Yeah.
Now, with all that said, good peeps, good mob. Welcome to Double A and Sugar Will's Time on the Couch, our therapy session.
Yeah,
because they talking to us.
I ain't talking to I told you know how you feel like somebody talking to you. You know what I mean?
Bro,
I'll send you my bill after the show.
Yeah. I just said
we definitely getting billed after the show for this because we are on the couch.
What it is, like when you said that we all family in here as far as us three. We grew up like we were scared of each other. Our dads, we didn't play with none of our dads. Like moms might be but after a while we got bigger and still dads was around.
It didn't matter.
That was my household.
Right.
So we didn't. I'm just saying we didn't grow up.
Larry Ace, Quincy Green, Martin Wright. We ain't want no problems at all.
We didn't want no smoke with our pops. So
no, none at all.
These is the dudes we grew up with, and it's just a transition for us. Like, I mean, I'm speaking for myself.
But the funny part, even though we had just those three men, wasn't scared to talk to them.
Mm-hmm.
So they were definitely the exception and not the rule. Definitely,
you felt the love.
You had to make sure that your tie was on straight around these men, but you could talk to them. That's why I love it before. It's not always the parents. That peer pressure from the outside, watching what your boys are doing. Oh, I'm sucker. I ain't gonna talk to my dad. Nah, they ain't cool. We went that route, even though they made themselves available. You're dealing with that peer pressure from all the other young boys around you too. You got to be tough. You don't want to be looked at as soft. So I ain't gonna share this with my parents. I'm a buck up against the system. I'm gonna shut down. Then. Just bad habits all around. But thank you for my therapy session. I got some text messages to send.
I learned a whole lot. You know what I mean? I knew a lot, but it's better when you hear it again from somebody else, especially that know what they talking about. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm like, damn. Like I said, I just know I'm getting better because I'm conscious of. I remember when I wasn't conscious of. You know what I mean? When you know that's when you're reckless. It's just you don't hear nobody. You know what I mean? But I'm getting older now, and when if more people keep saying it to me that I love, I keep maybe it is. You know what I mean? That's the third person that said it to me. You know what I'm saying? Like, all right, I get it, and my kids is having kids now. You know what I mean? So it's just life is just changing, and I just be trying to be a good dad. You know what I'm saying? I know I ain't perfect, but I do try. And I know, like y'all said, communication is what I need to work on.
And
first.
Self-regulation is
first.
important.
You know what I mean? When you said that, that's first. Communication is first. So I definitely need to work on that. And, I just try, like I said, I do try to get better. But I do notice, like, me growing up being who I was, they don't look at me like that. Like, dad ain't the one to come and bring the problems to it. Think you gonna get her? That's I'm just being honest. They go to their mom and they tell them. And
mom's a nurturer first. Dad was like the iron fist. He was a solid foundation. Go to mom first. Like, okay, you gotta test the waters. Like, okay, mom, see what
Gotta
mom
test the
say.
waters.
All right.
Yeah, that's all.
Let
Maybe it's
mom
like,
break it to
go
dad.
talk to your dad. It's
You
like,
know what
no, I came to
That's
you.
all it was, and I was like, yo, did you ask your dad? Damn, I thought she was going to ask.
I came to you. I'm trying to get the easy win. Like, no. Go
That's
talk
how
to
it
your
was
dad.
with us,
Y'all
but-
was that's manipulation. Kids are good for that too, though. You know, they try to play that game.
Oh, listen, the kids know who's
Yes.
dad's favorite,
Yeah.
and it's not even so much a favorite, but they know who we soft on.
Yeah.
Like my sister Ashley, we would always send Ashley, and if we want like, oh, Ashley, go ask
Y'all
dad if we can get
strategize.
pizza tonight.
Ashley, your turn.
Because Ashley would, but it wasn't that Ashley was my dad's favorite, but Ashley buttered my dad up. Like she rub his shoulders, like, Dad,
She
you
got a
need
wet.
anything? Get him water with ice. She catered to my dad. We wasn't doing that. It was like, it was like, oh, I'm telling myself now. So you remember Friday when Pops had like, go get me something to drink, and he dropped the ice cube on the floor. It's like, that would be me. Like, nah, my sister Ashley, she would overkill it with my dad.
DJ said a great one. You know, I got my glass. I gotta lift my glass. He doing it just to look good.
He winning some points right now. I saw him like,
I
okay.
can't see. But nah, he said the amount of love they gave us was equal to the amount of respect they demanded. And this
Yeah.
is one of the guys. This is my best friend. He grew up with me, like growing up in my. He been in my house, like. Yeah, it was. Yeah, we was different, man. It was, you know what I mean? We had no white, black, Spanish, wasn't no soft dads. You know what I mean? Like none. Like, and they was around. You know what I mean? That was too. They was dads around, and they was not playing, and that's how we learned. You know what I mean? That's what we learned from. You know what I mean? But
Can't communicate like that. That's
Gotta
the thing. It
change.
worked then.
it worked then.
It just can't work now
Right.
because
Right.
there's one.
Right.
These kids are smarter than what we were
Yeah, they are.
at that age, but they don't have the social cues or common sense
Yeah.
at all. None. But that's because they didn't. If we had the same tools they had, we'd be just like them.
Yeah.
We had the common sense cues, the social cues, that sixth sense to know when there's
To know.
danger.
Yeah.
Sixth sense
intuition.
when to know when to speak, when not to. Now it's they have none. It's all in it's just
Yeah.
their fingers.
Yes.
Yeah, the whole point of it is you just gotta. I just realized I had to change. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, you know, I got once again, I got a lot of pride. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you stubborn too. You know what I mean? So it's like I ain't changing.
I think
They
that was the toughest.
changing.
That was the
Yeah.
toughest lesson for me to learn. It's like, yeah, my last name might be right, but I ain't always right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I gotta
Yeah, you right, bro.
I gotta take a lot of things that I stood on. Like I said, 10 toes down don't always work.
Yeah.
And I had to pry my feet out of it and just like, nah, this ain't the route to go. I gotta walk some things back. Gotta eat some dirt pie and apologize on some
Yeah.
things that I once stood on that like, nah, that wasn't the right way. There is a better way. I can still get my point across, but my delivery has to change.
And I think too, even what you were just saying about the different skill sets are different. And the way we grew up, we were we had to just figure it out, right? There was like so much going on that when our parents were not around, like we were outside playing,
Yeah.
there was no phone.
Yeah.
Right, it was like, you know,
Yeah.
there was like you had to you really had to have the
Survival.
sixth sense. You
There
had
was
to-
no Google.
There was no Google.
There was no
right?
there was no Google Maps.
Right? So
None
our
of that.
parents didn't really have to teach us a whole lot of like survival, you know, like really sitting down teaching us. Like, you know, they would teach us, but it was a lot of life experience that
Yeah.
really helped us learn along the way. But with this generation, because so many things are at their fingertips, they don't really have to necessarily experience it
That part.
to learn
yes.
it. So they don't know how to apply the information they have.
Yeah.
And so that requires us to have to do more of actually teaching, right? Like we have to really model what communication looks like. We have to model how to express emotions look like. We have to model, we have to really because before it's like, why don't you know? Like you should know, and because that's how we learn. We just we just knew. If you think about it, like, a lot of things we just knew because of just life experience. But this generation is much more a lot of hands-on teaching that you have to do.
Yeah.
And I think that's what's also challenging with our generation because that's not how we learned a lot of times. We learned just from like, we just got it, common sense.
I remember our parents could at least teach us though. We can't even really teach our kids no more. Like if they come home from school, you remember the parents could help you in school back in the day.
Oh no, I need to take lessons.
What you got to go
what
back to school to even know what the hell is going on.
What is this new math now?
New math is mathing.
They
new
so
math is
far.
mathing.
They got them like that's the connection. Like even though the generations had their differences, I still felt like we connected in some kind of way with each generation. This new generation is so like different. You got teachers telling you don't teach your kids because y'all was not taught that way.
That's crazy.
You know what I mean? So it's like, what the hell?
The way I learn math is not how they learn math. I'm like, how do you get to this problem again?
Right.
It's
Tally
different.
mark.
It's like, no, Dad, it's not about the answer. I just have to show that I know how to get to it. I'm like,
yeah.
Wow.
so the answer's not important? No, it's the method.
The times.
Yeah, it's crazy, man.
So you really don't have to get the answer
Nah.
right?
Yeah, that's crazy.
No,
That's
I just have to show the
formula.
path
It
to
took
it.
them 10 minutes to do it. Took you 10 seconds to do it. You know what I mean? They got all these goddamn boxes.
Boxes and
What is this
tally
box?
marks.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, I'm done. You know?
Why is that?
I'm like, oh no,
That's what
can't
I'm
do
trying
this.
to tell you. I'm just trying to show you like the difference.
Yeah,
and if you having a kid now, it's different. Like
It
it is different. Like even our parents, like even when they say, "Oh, we don't like that music, y'all." Okay, the
was gonna
music
talk
was a
about that,
little
yeah.
different, change. But we still had the same kind of concepts. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? We can come home and say, "Mom, you know I'm struggling on my math or something." What? You can't do that. I'm looking like, no, I don't.
I need to go to class with
Yeah, I
you
gotta
just to
go.
make sure I understand what this is.
It's different now.
Where's the
so-
textbook? Oh, just like my Google Chromebook.
Yeah,
I'm like,
I
oh.
don't know what's going on.
No
They
more
going to
paperwork,
school
no more
by
paper trail.
themselves. Yeah, they basically.
No more
that's-
trapper keepers.
Nah, hell nah. These kids is doing a lot of stuff by themselves now, like really. You know what I mean? You don't know who's teaching them. Like my daughter's a great student. I don't even know how she's doing it. You know what I mean? Like she's just teaching herself. Like I go to the parent teacher. He's like, "You're doing a great job." Hey, I don't know what I'm doing. You know what I mean? I don't even know. See her doing homework. You know what I mean? It's crazy. Like,
We ain't gonna get into what Chat GPT is doing now.
oh yeah, it's gonna be another show. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we just making ourselves dumb about a minute because I can literally just write a script. Hey,
It's
I can literally say, write me a 10-page term paper on such subject using only high school 11th, 12th grade
That's
vocabulary. So it
crazy.
sounds
They're
like I've
not
written
able to do
it.
the work. They're not given the opportunity
That's
to
why
do the
they
work.
do. Yeah.
Y'all said so many things. First of all, shout out to y'all fathers that
Oh, thank
that
you.
demanded
Thank
that respect, but also gave y'all that wisdom as well. You talked about music. I feel like that was I can only think about like the Al Greens or the James
Yeah.
Browns who paid homage to women, but also showed like the hard work and dedication and flyness of a man.
Yeah.
So y'all had that. These kids now don't. They don't have that. So it's like it's a little different in that sense. And as a parent, you know, it is our responsibility. So if it was up to my son, he would. Everybody I know, their kids are ready to drop out. Hopefully, and I'm not trying to praise or give kudos to Donald Trump, but I do know that one of the things that he was doing was going to give funding to the communities to do what they want with the education system. So I'm kind of excited about that because I feel like a lot of things in the education system need to change. For instance, I don't feel like kids need to be in school from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. all day long. Like, what are you setting them up for? Where's time for them to explore their community, learn how to do things for themselves, understand their emotions? They just being programmed. You know what I'm saying? So that's one thing. But my son would wake up and play Fortnite
That's a great
all
topic.
Yeah.
day long if he could. And it got to a point where I would hear him talking mean to his sister. Because, you know, on Fortnite, what do? All they do is talk shit.
Yeah.
So he's like randomly bursting out. And I'm like, son, I know you're having fun, but you're developing a habit, a characteristic. You're
Thanks,
you're not being mindful of how your words are impacting people because you're in this cyber world. But now he got Nikola Tesla, he got synchronicities, he got numerology, and I make him watch videos 30 minutes a day, and then we have a conversation about it, because it's our job to plant seeds to open his mind. Because if we just allow it, and a lot of times it's like babysitting. They go entertain yourself, get out my face, so we could be on our own timelines, do what we do. So as parents, we got to be accountable, and we got to plant them seeds and expose them, you know.
So let me say this in the skit from Key and Peele, like Angry Obama. Let me say this a different way. Hey, parents out there, real quick, ISO on me. It is not the teacher's job to raise your kid.
Nah.
It's yours. There's nothing more annoying than watching parents just drop their kids off to the school system and expect these underpaid teachers, underappreciated teachers, to raise your kids who just give them their butt to kiss, and then you come up to school acting crazy. I dare you to say something to my kid.
Yeah.
Nah, raise your kid. Send your kid out into this world knowing how to act, and that way they don't become a statistic.
I love it. I coach. I coach. I love those kind of parents. Yeah, get cursed out real quick.
Cursed out and
Doing your
cursing.
job. Keep them accountable.
They get cursed out real quick. They realize this ain't D. Smith. You gonna get cursed out over here. You know what I mean? But I run into a lot of those kind of parents. It's a shame coaching. Especially with the single moms. I get it. It's a tough time. It's tough times for kids, period. You know what I mean? Like, I get it. But I really think I really blame it on us, the guys, the dads, honestly. We got to, they got to get this shit
It's
together.
Mothers, too. Mothers, baby. I see.
Yeah, the moms. It's just.
Some mothers, baby. Some of them are enablers, and I see that happen. Like they're caught up chasing love to the point where they're neglectful to their children.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, ooh.
You understand? Or they're so stressed and short-tempered.
I will not get in women's business.
I'm a woman,
so just make sure camera on camera.
We didn't talk about this, but I also am a holistic mindset mentor, and I do work with people one-on-one. I teach meditation, and these are things that I come across with friends and people that I've worked with. They feel guilty, but they feel like they deserve a shot at love after relationships. Me personally, I feel like I deserve a shot at love after my relationship. But what happens is we're absorbing, we're going outside, we're distracting ourselves, and then we come home to the kids and we're short-tempered and we're snapping and we're snapping. And what does that do? That breaks down the child's confidence. So women are also, we have to get it together. Women right now, we're feeling empowered, we got women running for presidents, and all of that is beautiful. But we are not perfect either, and we need to learn how to regulate our emotions. Sometimes we trying to go back and forth with children, not realizing that's not the way. I see mothers that want to argue and make a point in public, and that's not the way. Show them grace. Show them that humbleness. There's power in that. So that's something that I would like to say to mothers. It's not all men. Men have led for a long time, and with their dominance and their strength, and sometimes it comes off as two, but women are not perfect either. Women, we are softer, but we play a role in it as well. We can't do the men versus women thing. It's all of us as parents.
You heard it.
True.
Yeah.
Yes.
But in the spirit of who we are as good peeps,
My bad,
I'm going to throw a chair in the crowd right now.
Don't take it personal.
I think it's time for Double A's segment of the show where Double A throws a chair in the crowd. And I'm going to ask a question to our esteemed guest tonight.
Okay.
What is, because you said it earlier, what is toxic masculinity?
Okay, so spiritually, right, when we look at spirituality or just where we are on this planet and, Mother Earth, right? Mother Earth. I'm going to go there with it because now we got aliens in the sky and stuff like that. I don't know if y'all up on that right now. But our planet, right, that is something that births. You put a seed in it, and something grows from it, right? So that's that femininity, that's that giving. Masculinity, when we do look at like the root of most of the planet's problems, it's because of ego, greed, power, corruption, all things that were rooted and planted by masculine energy. You understand? So that is what is toxic. I'm not saying all men are toxic because you're a man with a penis. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying it's an energetic thing. Sometimes females have toxic masculinity. It's am I giving a good definition?
Let me phrase it another way. What makes masculinity toxic?
when it is overpowering and imbalanced, and there's no space for softness, there's no space for vulnerability because it's like, I'm so tough and I'm too cool and I ain't got time for that. You know, like that's toxic masculinity instead of being a teacher, a leader, understanding that there's space for all, you know, that's the difference. It's imbalanced, and that's what makes it toxic. We don't got to call it toxic because I know that's a hot word, but we could say unhealthy or imbalanced masculinity if y'all like that better.
So is there such thing as toxic femininity in women?
Yeah, I think so, because when some people think of femininity, they think, oh, I'm soft, take care of me, I'm in my but it's like, no, there has to be some independence, there has to be some starting, like there has to be some go get it driven. You have to have a drive. Even as a woman, you can't expect people to soft girl. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? Like it's a balance. We all think of yin and yang, feminine, masculine. It has to be in balance within all of us.
So
that's a spiritual journey.
A permanent passenger princess mindset, that's toxic femininity.
To me, yes. That's only my opinion.
I'm just saying because that's always a hot topic that I see a lot of women throw
How do you
out.
grow?
Oh, this is toxic masculinity. I'm like, being a man is toxic. What do you like? Give me a definition. What makes being masculine toxic? And nobody's just never given me that type of answer.
Because not only men are masculine, females are also masculine. There, some that you can see. Whether you take it from our species to another species to another entity, whatever, there's going to be feminine and masculine traits. There's going to be that energetic, and there has to be balance. And right now it's very imbalanced, and we can look at our history, you know, where we come from and how, like I said, I use the word inflated, and that may be a negative word, but men have been given so much responsibility from the jump. So it's only right that we're seeing a manifestation of it. And that's why aliens are in the sky. I'm just going to bring it around to that. They here because the volcano's about to erupt, and it's like, damn, how can we harvest any more resources? But, you know, toxic masculinity. And talking about the presidential stuff, you know, just seeing like the Kamala and the Trump. It's like, yo, this is like a manifestation of our own.
We all, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but we all innately say Kamala instead of Kamala. We all do it. We can't help it.
Okay.
They was killing
We
me.
can't help
Kamala.
it. Kamala.
Yeah.
Kamala. Got a couple
Yeah, it was
of.
killing me
Okay.
last week.
Kamala.
Put a comma in the sentences out of Allah to Kamala.
That's
Got
a
you.
great. That's a great answer.
I think the reason why it ends up being what you were saying, like you never got like a more in-depth explanation. I think it's because many people are using that word to attack men.
Yes.
That's why it's like that's the term, the trend, the word to use.
That's why I was
But it's
asking.
deeper.
To point out something that can label why men are, you know, not doing something right or
Trying to make me feel bad for being a man. I don't like
Not
it.
at all.
But
We need y'all.
So it's more of a surface. It's more of a surface answer. It's more of an answer to use to then be able to feel like back my own opinion about why men are not good at whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
I think that's because when you think about it, we all have testosterone and estrogen in
Yes.
our bodies,
Mm.
right? You just have a little bit more of some, and we just have a little bit more of the other, right? But we're carrying the same amount. We're carrying the same, right? Instead of showing that there is masculinity, there is, you know, femininity in all of us. Like we're all carrying it. And what happens is society. What we talked about, society is what's normalizing of how you should be expressing that, how you should be expressing masculinity,
they should not.
how you should be expressing femininity, right? And so for me, I never got on the bandwagon with the soft girl era. Like, I don't need to be soft, and I don't need to be hard. Like, I think seriously, I think one of the things I'm always helping clients work through is finding the balance, right? It's always this extreme. Like, it has to be one or the other, and that's why we stress and press.
That part.
Because it's like it has to be one or the other. I have to be either all here on the spectrum or all there on the spectrum. And because they're so extremes, I'm on the extreme and I'm stressed because I feel like I only have these two options. When really you have a whole gray middle that can help you have this balance. You can have both.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I just think the type of men we grew up just being like, I'm just saying our generation. You know, we about to be Flintstones. That's the difference. Yeah, it's about to be Flintstones with guys like us. I'm just saying, like, you know what I mean? Because they look at us like we crazy sometimes. You know what I mean?
Like, exactly.
This generation of dudes that we was raised from, and we still kind of, I'm just sorry. It's about to be.
But there was no
gone.
expression. There was no
whether we good or not. You know, it worked for some of us. It didn't. You know what I mean? But I'm just saying that type of man that I grew up with, my dad, and then I see my grandpa, even
the silent generation.
Yeah, them jokers was different kind of dudes.
They had to endure. They had to endure some crazy stuff.
Yeah,
so our environment,
you know
the times matter.
Which is why, like, depression in Black men is high.
Yes.
But nobody talks about it. Like, I became more aware of it when I was working because I worked in schools. And so when I would be in high schools and I would see my Black male students and they'll be in my office and I'm trying to help them to, like, you know, I remember this one student where he wasn't doing well academically. We would start the year off always strong, and he would just have this ambition and this energy and motivation to do really well, and then he would not. And we would be like, you know, almost the quarter is almost over, or we're now in quarter 3, the school year is almost over, and now he is feeling defeated, and he just feels like, well, what's the point of even trying? Like, all I do is mess up, and it's like this constant, like, the narrative that he often hears about not being enough in spaces that just his go-to is just quit, just focus on sports or act like I don't care, when really he really wanted to excel. But to express that, I mean, he'd feel safe to express it in the office, but to express that in the classroom, like, Dad, I really want to do well, or I'm really upset that was like a no-no. So he's walking around depressed, anxious, and I saw a lot of young Black boys coming in my office depressed, undiagnosed, and what you usually get is ADD or you know, oppositional defiant, right? And it's like, no, they're sad, they're depressed, they're feeling they're feeling sorrow, they're feeling defeated, they're feeling discouraged. That's why they're showing up in this angry way. Anger is a safe way to express it because that's normalized.
Good mom.
Y'all got to get y'all children an emotional wheel. Every household should have an emotional wheel on their refrigerator. And when it's like, how do you feel? Y'all got to go deeper than angry, happy, sad. There's so many. And when y'all start to put them words into play, y'all start to feel better because now there's an understanding. And it's like, okay, what do we do with this? Yeah. So it's very important for us to understand those emotions. Emotion wheel. Yeah.
I
put it on
the
the fridge.
Feeling wheel because because why that's important. That when you talk about communication, that's a perfect way to have communication, right? You can start off the conversation and say, "Show me on the feeling wheel how you feeling today," or "Show me on the feeling wheel how you feel about your test today," right? Because happy, sad, those are the 6 emotions that we learn when we're like kids, right? But when our emotional vocabulary is so narrow, just imagine if your vocabulary stayed at kindergarten level, we would not be able to have this conversation right now, right? Yeah. But because your vocabulary has expanded, you're able to have a more informed, more insightful conversation, right? You're able to articulate your words better. You're able to express yourself better. Just imagine what that would be like when your emotional vocabulary, your emotional vocabulary expands. So now instead of it just being, because sometimes you're like, I don't know how I feel because all you're thinking is those 6 feelings.
I'm
but
mad.
when you look at the feeling wheel and you're like, actually, no, I'm distraught, or actually, I'm confused, or actually, I'm feeling bitter, or I'm exhausted, or I'm feeling, you know, elated. Like when you're actually, then not only now you're saying, so this goes back to what she was saying about how just intellectual, just knowing things and not feeling it. When you actually find the feeling word that really matches how you feel, you immediately feel it in your body.
Yes.
You immediately have that mind-body connection. And from that, you realize that's it. That's how I'm feeling. And now, because now I know, I can now articulate it to you better.
Listen, I need y'all to like, share, subscribe, comment.
Let go.
We all witness God shit and comment. This show is fire. Say it ain't. You know what I mean?
Don't you say it ain't. Don't you do it. You know you can't.
I just had an epiphany.
Okay.
Like those.
Light bulb.
Lightning. It's off of something that Stephen, a good mob in the chat said, he said there's no space for men to be vulnerable. I want to address that, and it's so obvious in our face. We as men have to create that space. We can't wait for somebody else to do it because our boys, our young men, they're never going to have it. It has to start with us. I saw something that when I saw it was funny, but after this conversation, I think it's pretty genius. Just thinking about it with my old brain from how we came up, I was like, oh, that's the softest thing I've ever seen in my life. It was a whole bunch of men in like some type of river, right? And they're literally holding one another and they're just crying. Like, did you see that? When I first saw him, like,
Foolishness.
but thinking about that now, that's extreme.
Yeah,
I get it.
I ain't sitting in no river with none of y'all niggas. I don't give a damn how deep we gotta get.
So that's it.
That's that pride kicking in. That's that pride kicking in.
Y'all gotta play ball and
We gotta
talk.
find a new
Like,
routine.
I'm telling you, it's extreme, right? It's extreme.
Right.
But that was a space where you're seeing and every dude that's like they're holding him holding him up in the water, and they're just
Water is
it
cleansing.
looks crazy.
Water is cleansing.
I'm telling you, it looks crazy. And I'm not saying that's what we need to do.
No, because
But-
we're not.
Done
Gotta
took
be
a
able
little
to take a
too far.
jump.
Because we're not. It
He
works.
said, that's where I drop. That's where I draw the line.
It works
Right.
for them. It's not going to work for good
But I'm not saying that's what we
Sit on
gotta
the
do.
beach or something,
this
grab
gonna-
a
this-
mirror
oh man,
line.
this gonna get clipped up. Oh man. So, but let me finish. Let me land the plane. I'm gonna land the plane
Yes,
so it
sir.
makes sense. They're literally sitting there crying, and you can see, okay, man, they letting go years of hurt, and they're just releasing that out, and it's just amongst men because men don't have a space to be vulnerable. We have to create that space for ourselves, and grant that's an extreme
Nature is a
example.
beautiful place.
You
So
said
nature is a
extreme. You
beautiful
brung it up.
place.
But no, that's so true.
But,
Nature.
but I'm saying that's what I saw. But
I know.
for us to break down that old way of thinking, it might take something extreme like that.
Go hiking instead of being in the water.
Hey, good mob. Y'all trying to go to the
No,
river?
Take me to the river.
Hey, fellas, y'all in the good mob. Y'all trying to go to the river?
Go soak
They
your
might
feet.
not get even
Wilson Lake
swim.
and
Your little
Clay, we gonna be
We gonna meet at Wilson's Lake.
Bankhead bounce crying.
Don't do the Wilson's Lake.
Y'all better go to Wissahickon
Don't do the
in Philadelphia.
Yo,
It's a nice
next
little
week we
creek.
meet at Wilson's Lake.
I wouldn't even
Bring
be
your
Wilson's
child.
Lake. Y'all gonna come out with more than just some tears. Come out of Wilson's Lake.
Y'all making jokes about it. It's real. It's
We're
healing
gonna come
the
out there
nature.
looking like X-Men on
Listen,
Transformed
Y'all gonna
by
come
the
out with
radio.
something more than some
Hey,
tears.
on Good
coming out
Peepz,
Wilson's
rule
Lake.
number 2. You know, we gotta be able to take
Gotta be
a
able to
joke.
take
Of
it.
course, of course.
We don't,
But I will say, like, that, you know, the what you were just describing is important. And even with, like, for me as a woman, I would often, when I'm working with men or teens, I would often be really mindful that I'm just another woman, because most men, especially black men, have the mom they've been hearing all day, all the time, the aunties, the sisters, and they need a male. They need a man. And so just creating a space. Like I did it on my talk show, Unapologetic Living with Natasha on
Plug,
Shout
plug,
out.
Global
plug.
Network. So in my season 1, I did an episode where it was, so I did specials called Unapologetic Circle. And this time I intentionally invited just black men that I were like, that I was cool with. And that was one of the things they talked about, right? About how, you know, growing up, like it, you know, it's normal it's more of a normalized and okay when you're talking about like sex and you know, success, right? But it's not until you actually, so I was like reading off of like I was reading affirmations to them of things that like men need to hear. I forget, it was like a Instagram I heard. And they were just like, yeah, even just hearing it, they didn't realize they needed to hear those words until it was actually read out loud. And some of the ways that they have helped was like their brothers, like their friends, check in on them, right? Even just something as simple as that. Like, so one of the guys on the show was talking about how he does have that safe place because him and his friends, they just check on, like, how are you doing? And they're like, oh, I'm cool. No, really. How are you doing?
Right.
Right? Let's have a conversation about this.
Yeah.
So don't gotta be in the water.
But even if you just send like not even send a text, call and be like, yo, how are things? How are you? And they're like, yo, but I'm good. No, really. How you really feeling? Like, what's really going? Like, how are you? How's your day? Like, how are you really feeling, bro? Like, really genuinely asking is just a way to open up that space, and have those type of conversations with your brothers.
On that note, Natasha, I think guys for the most part we do open up, but it's only to certain. It's only to certain people. You know what I mean? Like
small.
It's like our circle is real tight.
This big.
Might not even be your spouse that you
probably
with.
came to see the gap.
You know what I mean?
It's
But
that big.
we do open up to like I said, I got a couple people that I can just and know that later on it's not gonna be thrown back in your face.
Wow.
That's the key thing too. You know what I mean? You start opening up to people, and in your weakest moments,
right. That's not cool either.
Yeah.
Miss Tammy said, "Take me to the river." Rule number 3: chill out, mom.
Weakest moments,
Take me to the river.
Respectfully.
your weakest moments is used against you. So we men do open up to certain people. You know what I mean?
That's okay. You don't have to have a whole posse.
Yeah, but
like
I
there's
think,
some brothers. There's some
think
guys
we
who
do
have
need
like
more,
a
though.
yeah.
You
Well,
know
that's
what I mean?
true.
I think,
Okay.
my whole
Community.
point is we got a little bit, but we need to
expand
start
Community.
expanding it
Yeah.
a little bit more. You know what I mean? But we just.
But that's where the conversation comes in,
That's
right? You
what
got to
I'm-
have
yeah.
more conversation. You have the more opportunities to do that, right?
Yeah, you're
Like
right.
the reason why you open up to that one person, those two people, is because you've grown level of trust.
Yeah.
You nurtured that relationship,
Yeah.
right? A lot of men aren't nurturing relationships. They're not pouring into the relationships to then build the trust, right? So part of like getting those spaces is like starting to like just have conversations, starting to invite your friends out to hang out. And it might just start off with just like some basic conversation, but the more and then starting to hang out more, right? Instead of just like once in a blue or when someone's having a festive or something, right? It's like, nah, you want to go out and shoot some hoops? You want to go get something to drink? Or you want to just come to my house and just hang out, right? Like just having more of those invites to nurture those relationships so you can start expanding those circles.
Thank you, yo.
That sounds like
Listen.
a call to action for Good Peeps. That sounds like y'all leaders of the new school. That sound like
Honestly, we
call to action.
Take me to the river.
You can have a whole Good Peeps men's circle.
It could be some fly.
Seriously, yeah, you can have a whole
You
Good
know,
Peeps men's
we didn't
circle.
had a circle already, like a show, and it was a great show. You know what I
Love
mean?
that.
Like really was. Like
Yeah.
the little it was about 8 of us, right? Yeah.
Was it this time last year?
Yeah,
did
we
that?
had like 8.
Look
8
at
guys.
that.
Yeah.
Nice.
8 guys, and
that's a sign.
it was a nice show. My man on here was crying. Yo, BJ was
My man.
Wait, we were just talking about that, throwing it back in their faces. Did we just talk about that? Throwing it back in people's faces. We were just talking about that.
Yo, and BJ said,
about that.
I literally
moment.
need to get in the river and cry with y'all. He literally said that
In the
too.
weakest moments.
Got me on take a joke.
He wasn't crying, but I always mess with him. He wasn't crying. But
funny.
we had a great show. Like we definitely need to
That's a sign.
get back to stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Let's go.
This is one thing I like about our show for real is right now it's just all guys, and we really do open up with each other. We do. We get on the
Yeah.
show, and we just be us. You know what I mean? It ain't about no act. And you can see brothers really just chilling, having fun. You don't see that a lot from guys, you know, where you can just still be cool and laugh and chill. And, you know what I mean? Guys think laughing and having fun is weak. I'm not weak, you know what I mean? I love to laugh, you know what I mean? So, I think we got away from, my generation, we came to parties and danced. Like, you know what I mean?
There could be
Like,
some dancing. I don't know.
we danced like all night. Like, we wanted to have fun is my point, you know what I mean?
Speaking of dancing, we're going to talk about that in a minute.
We like to show guys. I just had one of my friends told me, he's like, y'all making it cool for guys to have fun. You know what I mean? Like, we just be on here tripping, having fun, and we talk about stuff and we can relate. That's why it was great to have this. You know what I mean? People see us chilling, but we can't do this too. You know what I mean?
Y'all
It's
got
so
Good
interesting.
Peeps.
I don't know if you know Fat Joe, he has a show.
Yeah.
When he did the one with Method Man, they were
Yeah.
saying the same thing
Uh-huh,
about
yeah.
how it was like, back then, it was like, you didn't smile.
Yeah, yup, I
You
seen
just-
that,
I
yup.
remember that was me. Like in the 90s, like you didn't smile. You
Yeah.
just
Mean mug all
mean
day.
mug the whole. I got a lot
Right.
of pictures. Where I'm just mean mugging. But yeah, he was saying that about like just like as a man, it wasn't cool, especially in hip hop, to laugh, smile,
Yeah.
nothing. Now they're older, they're recognizing like it's okay to cry, it's
Yeah,
okay to
yeah.
laugh, it's okay
Yeah.
to do all the things. Yeah.
All right, Double A, what you wanna?
So are we set up to do something special tonight, Frequency?
We got something special going on.
Yeah, we had a beautiful, shout out to Natasha and Carmen, man.
Yeah,
like, seriously,
yeah.
y'all made this show fire. You know what I mean? I knew.
That's happening here right now.
If
I got an idea though,
like it.
y'all.
You don't
I feel like I need to say it though, because y'all got the good peeps, y'all got the good mob. Y'all might have a calling to do like the good fellas. Like the good fellas. It just aligns. I see leaders. I see y'all building it already.
Like civil
this
leaders?
time, not civil, whatever y'all want to make it, but it just aligns. So like good fellas, like a fella circle. Let's circle of fellas. The good from the
Y'all
good
heard the
peeps.
ladies.
You heard it here first.
Let go. This
Would
time last year y'all
Good
did
Mob,
it.
would y'all be there for Goodfellas?
Oh yeah, they better be.
Ooh, let go.
Good fellas, you heard it with a Z. Good fellas. You know what I mean?
Oh, snap.
Write that down, Frequency. Write that down.
Timestamp it. Don't nobody copy this copyright basically. Let's email it to yourself.
I told them to do that.
Nah, not even.
So we're actually going to do something
Yeah.
special tonight. Like I told you before, Karma being a multifaceted creative, she is an artist.
Yeah, hell yeah.
And we did a song together. Wow, was it last year?
Double A.
That's what I said. I said I ain't been here since then. So it's full circle.
Yeah. Produced a song for her called Amazing that's out everywhere right now. It's a beautiful song. Definitely a super, super affirmation type of, this thing, it's one of those timeless experiences where this thing could just play anywhere, anytime. And you need to pick me up, you put this on. You feeling great, you put this on. This is any time of the day, any season type of record. And I'm so glad that we got to do this together. She is a super talent. She wrote this song. And you can feel it.
You know what I mean?
You putting pressure on it. I'll be all shaking and shit, all nervous. God
Recorded right here.
Let's go.
Recorded right here at Titan Sound Studio, home of Good Peepz podcast. Produced by your guy, Double A, a.k.a. your champion. Why am I calling him champion? Because we doing our Who You With battle next week, too.
Next week, I'm killing him.
We doing
Right.
2000s,
Kill 'em.
2010 R&B. Head top, he done. He don't even know it yet. It's
Kill 'em.
over. It's over already.
But
So
it's on Karma this time. This is our time now. You know what I mean? But
I had to plug. I had
kill
to plug that real quick. Yeah, he done next
Pressure.
week. But everybody, I present to you Amazing featuring Karma Ye. She's gonna give you a little treat.
We just going right into it. Okay.
Yeah.
All right, we going. Now listen, I've been using all types of tones of voice today, scratching my throat. So
Yeah, you
drink
can
water.
you can keep it light. You can keep it light.
let's keep it light. Hey. Good. Thank you, Frequency. This is amazing. Thank you. Thank you, Sensei.
Oh, no problem. She calls me Sensei. I like
Hey.
that.
You are everything you envisioned yourself to be. Don't you ever doubt yourself. Just believe. Let your imagination take you. You see, there are no limits. You're amazing. Hey, yes you are. Oh baby, you're amazing. Yes you are. You better know it. You are greater than you imagined yourself to be. Trust yourself, just believe. Let your imagination take you. You see, there are no limits. You're amazing. Oh, baby, you're amazing. Yes, you are. You gotta know. You are wonderful. You are magical. You are where you're supposed to be. Intuition strong, it won't be long. You'll manifest your dream. You're amazing, darling. You bring so much positive energy. Stay consistent, keep going. Yeah, you will see. You're amazing. I feel like I sound so off, but it's okay, cause we amazing. Hey, oh baby, you're amazing. Yeah, yes you are. You are. You're amazing. Come on, Lo. Shout out my sis Lola. Go ahead and check out her project, Red Light Demos. Okay, just drop that banger. Love you, sis. We're gonna be in Italy eating pasta and all that. Yeah. Thank y'all.
That's what
My
I'm
hitter,
talking.
Karma Ye.
Karma Ye.
Amazing. Featuring Karma Ye everywhere.
That's-
Produced by me, this guy right here.
Double A.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The guy that's going to kick his tail next week in the R&B battle 2010.
Oh, beautiful. That was
Fire.
beautiful.
Thank
Karma.
y'all.
That
Thank
was
y'all. I
beautiful.
felt a little pitchy, but you know.
Man, you've been
you sounded
talking
great.
for a long
Thank
time.
you.
That was,
I had to
that
talk
was
for an
great.
hour and a half
Yeah,
just to
yeah.
do that on the spot like
Yeah.
that.
I love it.
yeah.
I'm grateful.
And everybody, there was no
Yeah.
vocal magic on that
Yeah,
mic.
yeah.
That's her.
That's just-
Straight up off the top. That's her.
Thank y'all.
Tap
Nice.
in.
Hey!
Good peeps, you see.
Y'all better know
So-
y'all amazing.
So real quick, Frequency, if you can just post the information on that screen, those lower thirds, so people know how they can tap in with Karma Ye and Natasha Bryant. So Karma Ye, shout out your socials.
Yeah,
How can
before
everybody
we
get in
up
touch
outta
with
here.
you?
So y'all can follow me on Instagram, karma.ye. That's karma with the CARMA.YE. You could click the link in my bio. It has everything from podcast, culture and soul podcast, the Artist Exchange, where we host impactful conversations with creatives about mental health and their journey, keeping everything balanced. Also a meditation instructor. Connect with Karma is the name of the business for that. And I'm just here. I'm here to build, be a vessel, and also learn at the same time, because with all that we've talked about today, we don't know everything. So it comes with that connection and reaching out and building. So yeah, thank y'all for the opportunity. I love the conversation. Natasha, I love how you can just pinpoint and put the science to it. Like that, it was beautiful to hear you break it down, and hopefully we can connect.
Yes.
Fire.
For sure.
Yeah.
All right.
Nice,
Again,
nice.
Carmen, thank you for
Thank you.
for pulling up on
For
us.
real.
Yeah.
She's officially Good Peeps now.
Yeah,
Wait, we
yeah.
get a stamp. We get a good piece.
Yeah,
Give
yeah.
my shirt.
So what y'all don't know,
What's up?
we
get a
got
t-shirt?
Good Peeps merch. We're going.
Oh, we got some merch.
So we're gonna get your sizes,
Yeah, we
and we're
I
gonna
want
get,
a
get
medium.
y'all some exclusives.
Yes.
Y'all got that.
I'm excited.
Thank
And
you.
we'll tell y'all about how y'all Good Mouth can get Good Peep stuff too. But
Like, share,
before we do
subscribe.
that, Natasha Bryant, please run it down for everybody. How can we stay in tap with what you got going on? How can we reach you?
Yes, so I am all over.
Talk about
I'm
it.
on every platform. So you can connect with me on Instagram and on TikTok at Speak Life Transformation. You can hit me up on Facebook at Speak Life Transformation SLT. Check out my website, speaklifetransformation.com, to learn more about my services. If you want to work with me for therapy, you need to be in the states of Pennsylvania, New Jersey, or if you're a professional woman or entrepreneur who's looking for some confidence mindset coaching, helping you feel confident and authentic in all the things that you do. There's that as well. You can check out my website for those services. And I have some books as well. So if you want some affirmations, I have an affirmation coloring book for adults. I have a guided journal, a healing journal that can help you heal in 12 different areas. I also have an amazing ebook, How to Find a Dope Therapist and Make Therapy Dope. So if you've been struggling, because listen, the struggle is real, to find a therapist, if you've been struggling trying to find a therapist, but also be intentional about therapy when you're in it, that ebook will be amazing for you. And there's also other ebooks on there. So again, speaklifetransformation.com will be the way to find all that information. And I'm just excited to be here. So just thank you. Oh, and my YouTube channel. If you want some tips and tricks, strategies
You
on
said
this
tips or you what
I said some tips.
I heard tips and strip. I'm like,
I
wait,
said
tips?
tips and
We know about
Entrance.
tips. We don't do tips. You know,
Tools and
what we
techniques
do.
is what she means.
Some strategies,
Yeah.
some techniques. I need to use. Okay.
I love the
Goddamn
verbiage.
techniques.
I love that. I love all of
Change
it.
the verbiage.
All right, you got
Some
it.
mental wellness
There we go.
Yeah, there you go.
strategies and techniques.
Boom.
Go to my YouTube channel, Speak Life Transformation TV for videos on all things mental health and wellness.
That's what's
Yeah.
up. You heard it.
Fire.
Fire.
Hey, double A, man.
It's another one of these shows, bro.
Another one of these
Keeps
shows,
getting better.
man. It was better than what I thought. You know what I mean? For real,
Yeah.
for real. I knew it was
Don't you
going to
love it
be.
when that happens?
I do, for real. I kind of figured. I didn't know y'all, but like I said, I watched this stuff, and you know, I'm like, yeah, we gonna probably vibe with them pretty good. You
Yeah.
know what I mean?
And then it turned into our therapy session. We on the
Yeah.
couch tonight, so we have some work to do. We got assignments.
I definitely got.
I got some messages said.
Y'all got some
We gonna
circle
touch on
groups to
how to go
build down
with
by the
you.
river.
Is everything good? It's all right with me.
Yeah, I ain't even gonna hold you, bro. Yeah, you know, I tell the truth, boy.
We probably gonna get a bill in the mail.
Yeah,
but-
you can definitely mail me up my bill because I learned a hell of a lot. You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? So,
Made me a better man tonight.
yeah, you did. You know, everybody ain't perfect. You know what I'm saying? That's it's just that simple. You know what I mean? Everybody, you know, I learned. And like the thing about me is I'm just glad I'm conscious, but just hearing it from y'all perspective too, and females' perspective too, you know what I mean? Yeah, you gotta listen. You know what I mean? I was like, is she talking to me? Did I give her my story? I just met her today. You know?
Catch us at a local river near you,
Yeah.
Yes.
crying it out.
In a local river.
Try it out on
Y'all
the river.
play.
Yes.
Crying the river.
Clang.
Literally.
This nigga said a river. That was funny as in the day.
Yes.
A river. But listen, good mom. Oh man, y'all, we already know how we feel about y'all. You know what I'm
Merch.
saying? Merch.
We got the merch.
Got it.
Go
Fire.
to our IG. Click that link in our IG bio. It's going to take you to all things Good Peeps. Take you to the Facebook page, the YouTube page, and get your Good Peeps tees. Good tees.
Yeah, good.
And your
tea.
good hoods.
Goods. Yeah, you can
Right now.
rocking these.
Good.
You know
And guess what
I
we're
mean?
doing? It's the holiday season.
Oh,
Ooh,
yeah.
Black Friday
So-
sales?
Yeah.
So the tees are $30,
And-
free shipping.
Yeah, well, everything.
Ah.
Yeah, free shipping.
Good hoods are $50, free shipping.
Yeah, no shipping.
So
Shipping.
we're not. It's not a cart thing. So don't worry about, man, I got to keep ordering more. No, there's free shipping, so you're not getting taxed more the more you order.
Yeah.
So get as much as you want. It's free shipping no matter how much you get.
Oh,
We're absorbing all the free ship. We're absorbing the shipping costs for you.
Yeah, you just got
I just caught that because it's Good Peeps, and I'm looking at the eyeballs, and it's like we peeping, we
Yeah.
see, and we aware, but we good people. It's like a double.
There you go. Yeah.
So now, so you just made DJ Frequency Day because that's been his vibe. He designed the logo.
It's order.
Yeah, that was it.
That's
Yeah,
right.
you just made it.
You made his month. He's like, yo, double A, click that up what she said right there and run that. And run that.
He definitely
That's
came up.
crazy.
She gets me.
I'm
She gets me.
perceptive like you. Like it just
He
it makes sense
definitely
now.
came up with these eyes. You know what I mean?
fire.
For real. But
BJ said, everybody call your mama.
Yes.
We got some healing to do tonight.
but listen, once again, shout out to Natasha and Karma. You know what I mean for showing up. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
We definitely be talking to y'all again. This
Yeah.
I ain't
Yeah,
even
I'm with
I
it.
would love to come
Yeah,
back
we
whenever y'all want to have me
definitely
back. We can talk
bring
about
y'all
Say
back.
less.
another
Oh,
level.
Yeah,
Okay,
we
talk
can
about
we could've been
relationship.
doing- Yeah,
We
exactly.
can talk about. We can talk
Exactly.
about a whole bunch of stuff.
Exactly. We can open up.
I do
a lot.
couples.
I already got homework to do.
He said, "Uh-oh."
I ain't trying to be back on the couch again.
Second quarter,
Too
we'll be
soon.
back.
Nah,
Next
we
year.
appreciate
I need to heal first. Let me heal before you
everything.
open up another Band-Aid.
Yeah, they got, they did what they was supposed to do. We got some healing, you know what I mean? Chilling, you know what I mean? Like I said, they sounded, I knew she was gonna be on top in her energy. If y'all never this is the first time I met both of them, you know what I mean? Your energy, even when I watched you, I was like, yeah, I just love that. You know what I mean? I just love that. You know what I
Some
mean?
people love it, and sometimes it's too strong, and people, they wanna humble me or like, why are you so abrasive? But
Yeah.
I'm learning to embrace that because I'm coming from a place of my own experience and just I am energetic.
Yeah, that's what it is.
I'm not saying
yeah.
hurtful words, and I
Yeah.
feel like that is what shows the difference.
Nah, that's you. Yeah, it makes you.
Yeah,
It
and I
makes
knew
you. Yeah, it
Tosh
makes
is
you.
going to get on here and do what she do because I've been watching her content. She started putting up her Speak Life transformation. I'm like, sis is in her bag.
Yeah.
I love the breakdown.
So,
You
yeah.
catch them.
Thank you, ladies.
Ain't nothing getting over on this side of the room over here. You gotta come correct because you
Good
gonna get
Peepz,
learned
honey,
real
we
fast.
see.
Yes.
Double A. You got any last words as we
Yes, your champion is
as
here.
as
and,
you get ready for your ass whooping is getting closer.
so for those for our
getting
first
closer.
time listeners and watchers, we do something called Who You With.
Yeah.
It sounds familiar. You probably might compare it to Versus. So we did our first one was 90s R&B.
90s, yeah.
We'll just say it was a tie. I think I won.
Okay.
But whatever.
You should. You should.
Whatever. We are doing 2000s R&B next week. So 2000 to 2010.
Fire.
We get 20 rounds.
Yeah, we was fire.
so
yo.
we're playing 20 songs each back to back to back. 20 rounds total. That's next week.
That's fire.
You only
That-
get to pick the art, like, yeah, the artist, like y'all said.
Here's the key right here. Go
Yeah.
ahead, break it down.
The key is, y'all think it's easy because there's a million songs in the 2090s. So the key is that makes it hard. You can only use the artist once. So it ain't like you can use it R. Kelly's whole goddamn
Yeah.
album.
Right.
Yeah.
You know, so if you use
That makes it more
use
challenging.
whoever, you done with him.
You
Usher,
use Jodeci,
yeah.
it better be the one because you can't go back to the well.
You gotta be strategic.
Can't go
So,
back to the well.
It's
That's fine.
strategic. You know, I don't know if y'all seen the first show. It was the only reason why we running it back. Y'all wanted us to run
Yeah.
it back. You
Y'all
know
said
what I
when the
mean?
next one.
Yeah, when the next one. So we gonna do 2000s.
And we got to we turn in our list ahead of time so neither
Yeah.
one of us know what we picked.
Yeah.
We turn in our list of songs to DJ Frequency and we call him out, hey, DJ Frequency,
Yeah,
play
we-
track 2.
Yeah, they ain't no. Yeah, we.
There
don't
is
know.
no Google on the spot.
Yeah.
How do I? Nah.
Nah,
You
already
have your
got
list
'em.
turned in.
Yeah, Siri picked me so.
We're going to stop that narrative right now.
Yeah.
I did not cheat.
Siri picked
I
me
said,
so win.
I said AI, talking about Allen Iverson. These fools said, nah, he talking about artificial intelligence.
No, he caught the
Siri
nigga
picked me
cheating,
some
yo.
wins.
Right.
Caught him cheating. He told on himself, hey, I'll pick this shit.
That's
But
how.
it's
That's
cool,
the word.
You know what I mean? Yeah. We cool. It's cool. You know, we got to run
I
back.
choose
2000.
violence next week.
You'll see it. It's going to be fun.
Y'all be here.
It's a party, y'all. We have fun, you know, and chill out.
We definitely sing it. We
Yeah.
literally sang in chair dance for 2
Chair
hours,
dance, Yeah.
off key and everything. Didn't care.
Yeah. It was fun as hell. You know what I mean? We had.
Who? Yeah,
That's therapeutic.
doing all.
Yeah. So tune in next week. Gonna be another fun show. You know what I mean? Me and Double A getting it in 2000s R&B, man, and it should be pretty fun.
But good times are made with good peeps.
All
Yeah.
day.
Thank y'all for tuning in. Like, share, subscribe. We out.